Hey people, Aman Versya here. This is Python Programming Tutorials Day 4, and today we'll be learning about lists and for loops. So let's start with the list. Now you might ask, what is a list? So a list is basically math people here think about it as a row matrix. Now what is a row matrix, you might ask? So it's basically you put two square brackets and then just start putting in values. 89 comma 17 comma, you could just put anything. Let's not put print. You could print hello world. You could put my name if you want to. It's separated by a comma obviously, and you could just put I don't know. Okay, so this is a list in Python. This variable now is called a list, and these are the values of list. You could put anything. It doesn't have to be just digit or strings. It could be a floating number. It could be 2.3 or 4. Doesn't matter. It could be anything. So right now this list has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It has 6 the length of this list is called 6. Let's just confirm that. We'll use the length function and then we'll see. Yes, so the length of this list is 6, and just to confirm that we are on the right track, we can check the variable a is of type list. Okay, we could do a lot of things with list. We could just print a and then we'll get the entire list back. So it's 89, 17. Yeah, makes sense, right? Now what if you want just this first element from this list? So entries in a list are known as elements, just like a set of elements. So what if you want 17 or just my name or just idk or 2.4? What do you do then? So a, and then you put square brackets and then you write the order of these elements. So this gets 0 order, this gets 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's just go with it. It will make sense in a minute, I promise. So we'll print a of 0. A of 0 is 89. Okay, that sounds fair. Now you might ask, shouldn't it be the first entry? Yeah, Python and a lot of programming languages works a bit differently, and everything starts from 0 instead of 1. So the second entry, or I should say in the first of place, is 17. Let's try second. Yeah, see, I told you it's a bit confusing, and we can go for 3. So here we can see, yeah, here. So we can see 89 and then 17 and then hello world and then Aman. And as you guessed it, as I can keep on going, I'll print the 4th. This is idk, and then I can print a of 5th, and then we get our 2.5. Right? You might be tempted to do this, find a of 6th, and yeah, sure, let's try that. And we'll get an error. It's a list index out of range. Yeah, so there doesn't exist any entry at index 6. Okay, now index 6 would be the 7th element in the list, which we do not have. So I hope this makes sense, because at index 5 we have our 6th element, at index 0 we have our first element. This is how things are in Python, and I know it's a bit confusing, but as you will play with it more and more, I think you can figure it out. Now a list can have lists inside them. So instead of 89, I could have another list here, right here. I could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yes, you could have lists of list. It's like having matrices under matrices. People coming from different programming languages might know there's another name for list. It's called an array. So yeah, you could make multiple lists. It's possible. You can do that. There's nothing wrong. So let's try and just print out A for now. And here it is. You just see the list as it is. So there's a list, and that at the 0th index or the first element, please remember this, you have this, as in this is the 0th index, this is the first element, which also happens to be a list. Then at the first index and the second element, you have another list, and so on and so forth. So if you print out 0th at 0th index, you'll find another list. On if you want things inside that list, you could just put up another square bracket and ask for the 0th entry in this list, and then you get 1. Or you could go for 7, and in that case you might get an 8. So yeah, these are lists in Python, and they work in a weird way. So now let's move on to for loops. Okay, let's make another list. We'll keep the list of even numbers just to keep things a bit more interesting. 14, 16, 18 and 20. Okay, now let's just print out the list to be sure we haven't made an error. And here it is. This is our list. Oh, and before I forget, you can even give other variables the value of A. Like if you want B to have the value of 8, then 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth element, but it's third in index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So you can just put a 3 here, and then you can just print B to confirm that now B has value of list A index 3. So yeah, see, we are printing B, and now B has the value of A of index 3rd, which is 8. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, so now we know how if statements work, right? We know about if statements. Now let's go with for statements. So a typical for statement works in this way. For, now you have to think of a new name. Usually people just use X or I or value. You can just put on anything, but for now we'll put value. For value space in, and then we'll put the name of the list. The name of the list is A. I think we should keep the name a bit more even. Okay, even, and then you put a colon. Do not forget, this is the most important part. A lot of you people make this mistake. Do not forget that there is a colon here. Okay, then we click enter, and then we'll just go print value. Okay, so let's recap what happened here. So this is a for statement. It basically says that for value in the list even. So what it will do is, when this program starts, it will start here, it will read this line, then it will go here, then it will start looping. So for value in even, so what this does is goes to this list, even list, and it turn by turn it checks the values. So it will first see 2. So this, I shouldn't have kept it value. Wait, I'll just put it I. It gets a bit more confusing to talk about values if your variable is values. Okay, so right now I has the value of 2 when this first runs. Then when it runs the second time, so it runs, then it goes to this statement, and then it ends, then it goes back to the starting. Now I has a value of 4, then it runs again, and then it loops back to the front, then it has a value of 6, and I will keep this I will keep on changing its value until it hits the end of the list. Okay, so let's see what are the values of I. We'll just print this out. So these are the values of I. So it starts with 2. 2 is the first value, then it prints that value I, then it goes to 4. After printing 2, it goes back up. Now the value of I is 4, then you can just print I, so that is 4, then 6 and 8 and 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So basically all it does, this line of function does is prints out the value of the list. That's it. Nothing fancy, not yet anyway. Okay, you could do, let's try one more example just to be clear. we'll put odd equals 1 3 oops 11 13 15 17 and 19. Just put 21 for good measures. Okay, so what we can do is we can change the list. Now is named odd, and we can keep the I, we can put a J, we can put anything, but as long as we are changing this variable, make sure to change this too. So what will happen to then A? A will take the value of 1, then 3, 5, 7, 9, all these values, and then it will print itself. So let's see what happens, and voila, see, it's done. It's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 and 21. This is, it's a for loop basically. Okay, let's move on. Let's try an even more fun version. Okay, let's go for I in range 10, and then let's just print I. Let's see what I does. Okay, we'll just print I, and it prints 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now okay, why did it start from 0? As I told you, programming languages have a thing to start from 0 instead of 1. So the value of I goes from 0, it prints 0, then it reloads the entire program, then it prints 1, then it goes to 1, prints 1, then it goes to 2, prints 2, and so on and so forth until it reaches 10. Okay, so these are 10 numbers, by the way. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. It goes till 9, but there are a total of 10 numbers. If I put 11, you might guess what happens. It will go to till 10. Okay, that's how it works. But hey, once you realize that this for loop runs 11 times, you could do fun things. You could just print hello, and then you will see the hello 11 times. Isn't that fun? You could do anything you want. You could say I am the best person or something, and it will print that 11 times. And a lot of you people know that I like to do this. This is fun. You could just it doesn't matter what value you put, as long as you put a variable right there, it just goes fun. Like, it just keeps on working. So for x in range 11, it doesn't matter, the output is same. You could just put about anything in here and it will work, as long as you are not using this. Let's use it. Let's try that. So we could just say comma I. Will also, so this is a way of printing two values at one. So I am the best person, and then a comma I. So it will just print. Let's see what it prints. I am the best person 0. I am the best person 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. It just gives you a count basically. If you put a +1, so yeah, to make things more interesting. So it starts with 1, 2, because the value of I in the starting is 0. Then we say 0 plus 1, then it shows 1. Then it loops back. The value of I is now 1. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. It just basically adds 1 to the entire value. It's nothing fancy. You could do even more fun stuff with it. Let's say you wanna calculate, let's say there's a variable a and it equals, let's just say sum equals 0 for now, and you want to print the summation of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 till 10. What do? So I'll just put a 10 here, and I'll just say sum equals sum plus I plus 1, and then we'll just print around sum. Let's see what happens. 55. That's correct actually. Let's go for a smaller value. We can see the sum for 1 plus 2 plus 3. That should be 6, and it is 6. So what happens in this program is the value of sum initially is 0, and the loop runs. So for I in range 3, value of I is 0. Sum equals sum. Right now this is 0 plus 0 plus 1. That's 1. So now the value of sum is 1. Remember that. The value of sum is 1. Then it runs back for I in range 3. Now the value of I is 1. So sum, it's already 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's a total of 3, I believe. Yes. And then you can keep on going. This will happen one more time, and the value of sum would be 6. Actually, let me just show you alongside what is happening, and we'll just not include the statement. Actually, yeah. So this is what happens when it runs the first time. The value of sum is 1. Then it runs the second time. The value of sum is 3, and it runs the third time, and the value of sum is 6. We can just cross check that for 10, and this is the value. People in math, you know this: 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55. So sky is the limit. Go ahead and have fun with this. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. Okay, so once again, go ahead and have fun. And I know I keep on repeating this, but sky is the limit. Go ahead and be creative. Seriously, be creative. Follow along. Like, use your mobile phone while you watch this video. Follow along, please, and have fun. That's the most important part. So any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, reach me down in the comments or contact me personally. That's fine. Any updating links I'll put in the description below.